What is up, guys? Homie G-Dog456 here, and today I'm bringing you the long-awaited update. You know, I haven't really posted a video for a few months now because mainly I downsized my tanks. I only have this one tank now, the 65 gallon. I got rid of my African cichlid tank. The basement flooded, and it's a long story, but I had to get rid of it. So it is now gone. I have this tank and a 10 gallon, basically just like a quarantine tank in case I need it. It's running right now with the two angels in it that are breeding because they never had any success in here with my it's basically I've tried to convert it into a rainbow tank because I basically fell in love with rainbows because they can go with planted tanks, and my favorite type of tank is, you know, with the green covering the whole back, like I got that rotella covering the whole back, and the rainbows look great when you have your plants thriving. It brings out the color of the plants, and the plants bring out the color of the rainbows, so they go really well together. And the water conditions for both are around the same. So I don't really know where to start. Like, I mean, basically I've changed everything. I still have a few of the older guys. Like, I still have this female crib. You can probably remember her. I still have that Pleco from a while back. Ever since I got this tank, I got those little fry, the baby crib fry that I raised. There's one. There's another one. And then I got another angel too. He's getting abused by somebody. I believe it's this little guy. I saved him probably from death, so I'm not too worried about it right now. But I will be getting rid of him. It's definitely a cichlid, an aggressive type of cichlid. He's just kind of terrorizing everybody. So eventually I'm going to get rid of him, just to a pet store, because he's a nice fish, but you know, I got out of cichlids, so they definitely don't go with rainbows and angels. You can see him up in the corner there. He's getting his fins nipped a little bit by that cichlid. But other than that, it's pretty much just a rainbow only tank. The cribs go fine with rainbows. So if you're wondering that, cribs definitely go fine with rainbows. You know, nothing to worry about there. But this stuff grows like a weed. It's water sprite, but it's never been rooted, so it basically grows these big thick leaves out. You've already seen this before, I'm sure, but it's, you know, I just want to show you how much, like this, I just trimmed this down, or I just pulled a bunch of crap out. It was covering, usually covers up a whole square, a whole you know, side of the tank, and then I'll be like, holy crap, because it grows so fast, and take most of it out, and it'll be back within the next 2 weeks, just because it's crazy stuff, really. It spreads everywhere, and you get too much, it's gonna block the light, so that's why you gotta keep taking it out every now and then. But you know, I'm waiting for my CO2 to start running here. It's almost down the line. It might start during this video, I'm not sure. It's do-it-yourself. I got 2 liters in there, and it's been working fantastic ever since I got it. It's just enough CO2. I'd like a little more, like maybe one more bottle, but that'd be a little much. It'd be too much work. It'd be just worth going to pressurized if I was gonna do 3 bottles, because that's a lot of bottles just sitting down there, and that's a lot of sugar that you use too. But for fertilizing, what I've been doing is just liquid fertilizers. I sometimes dose the Excel, but mainly I'm dosing comprehensive. I got the Flourish comprehensive, and then this potassium. That the plants love this potassium, especially the rotella. I have some trace minerals. I've learned the plants pretty well based on, you know, when they need something, a certain element. I'm usually able to dose it, but I try to stick on a regimen where I do a water change once a week on the same day, and that kind of resets everything. Sometimes it may be 50, and some weeks it may be less, you know, depending on how bad, you know, like how bad the gravel looks. It just all depends on how much I fed them that week. Sometimes it's different, you know. You don't have to be doing 25%, the same 25% every week. Like, sometimes it's good for your fish to just get in there and do like a 50-60% water change and reset the whole tank. Just leave the filters alone, just take the water out and put the new water in. The fish love it, the plants even like it, and it doesn't affect your bio load too much when you don't touch the filters and you don't go too deep in the gravel. Like, especially for a planted tank, you don't need to vacuum too deep in the gravel, because plants like the Amazon swords here, and there's a melon sword back there, especially the crypts, they love the iron and all their elements in the gravel. So what I've done is just put root tabs like you can do. I'm using API just because I never have gotten any special soil or anything. You know, it's not dirted. It's got some laterite in it that I've mixed in here and there, but that's about it. So I've noticed a huge improvement on all my rooted plants since I've put the tablets under them. Like, these Amazon swords are shooting like crazy. Same with this side. That's a it's some type of sword. It's not an Amazon sword. It's like an ocelot sword or something like that. But like, you can see these crypts here. Look at all the new growth coming on them. If I can focus in there, you can see all the new growth. And these guys are pretty new too, these green ones, and they're starting to get good growth on them also. Let's get on my knee here, give you a better view. There's some Lowigia, red Lowigia back there. Trying to get it red again. It's hard to keep it red. The main stem usually stays red, but if you don't got that good iron in there, it won't go that deep red like you want it to. Same with, I got a red rotella back there. It won't go that deep red unless you have it really enriched in iron, and you know, it's hard to do unless you're dosing dry fertilizers and that makes it a lot easier because it's a lot more precise dosing. But you know, enough with the talk and all this scientific talk crap about friggin' dosing. Now we'll just look at my setup for lights. I did a 4, but 4 is way too much, I've learned, and I can get away with about 2 in there, and the third one on about a couple hours a day, and that is sufficient for my tank, my plant load so far. So from what I've seen, if I have the 4 bulbs in there, I tend to get a lot of the algae on the sides, the green algae, or the whatever it's called, and also get some of that blackbeard algae. You can see right in the speck, that little black speck you can see in the camera, that's a little thing of blackbeard algae. They just come on there like that when the light's a little bit too high. But I think I've said but a lot. This tank's doing great, really. I haven't had any diseases for a long time. Ever since I've got so many plants, like I've got the whole, pretty much the whole tank covered in plants. It's really easy to maintain it because the plants take so much of the nitrates in that I could go like 2-3 weeks without doing a water change, and just, you know, watching the fertilizers, and the tank would look like it does right now. Even though, because I just did a water change today, so that's why it looks pretty good right now, nice and clean. I, you know, clean the sides and everything. But I think 2 weeks without a water change, it would look the exact same. 3 weeks would be pushing it, just because I've never done it that long, so I can't really say for sure, but I'm sure it's possible if I tried it. Now, these guys here, the names aren't coming to my head actually, but it's a stem plant and it's really cool. Same family as Rotella, and it just grows like pretty much crazy. There it is there. I know their name, it's just not coming to me right now. Those also love the water column fertilizers, that's what I call them, because these guys, the liquid ones, you're putting them into the water column, and the plants take them from the water column. And unlike the Amazon swords, where they like to take their nutrients from the soil and their roots, they don't take as much from their plants. Their leaves are just made basically for photosynthesis, and they basically just take in the light. There's some nutrients, like you'll do okay if you're just dosing liquid ferts with them, but I've noticed they love the root tabs. They for sure do. Or they love a good soil. Some fluoride or whatever you like to use. Now we're pushing 11 minutes here. I won't go too long because I know you guys don't like sitting around with me blabbing for like 20 minutes, but sometimes it gets like that because it's been so long since I did an update. I'm sorry about that, but you know, life has its challenges. I was working a full-time job, but I won't get into that right away. I was working a full-time job, so I had no time. I basically had no time at all. So that's pretty much the story short. That's why I haven't been posting as many videos as often as I would like to. But that's it for now. Keep watching, subscribe if you haven't already, because you know, I'm gonna try to get into like some how-to videos, because a lot of people I see doing planted tanks completely wrong, and they got algae like crazy, and you know, they really don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of following guidelines on the bottles or whatever, and that sometimes can lead you down the wrong road pretty quickly. So if you guys are interested in that, any of you guys, the new ones that are going to join the channel after I post this video, I'm sure there will be some new ones, because most of you are here from my cichlid videos, so I welcome you to stay, because these guys are equally as awesome as cichlids. Really, they eat just as much, probably more than cichlids. I don't know if I should say that, but rainbows are crazy eaters. One of the coming updates, I'll post a feeding video, and these guys go crazy. More crazy than cichlids, easily. They flop out of the water getting their food, like completely crazy. And it's not like I starve them for days at a time. I feed them usually 2 times a day. So rainbows really only need fed once a day, in my opinion. But I'm trying to get them to grow a little faster than they are, so I've just been feeding them higher quality food and a little more, and some higher protein, like brine shrimp a lot more, just to get their bodies growing. He's the biggest one I got right now. He's a really nice Bosemani rainbow. You can see those colors there. I know the camera's not the best for focusing, but once it does get focused, he's my favorite, hands down, and you can probably agree with that. But future updates, I'll get into all the species I have. But right now, I just wanted to let you know I'm still here. Subscribe if you want to see more of this, and if you're already on the channel, keep watching, because there'll definitely be more coming your way. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon.